Absolutely great question. So, your blood pressure looks a bit like this. Here's your arterial waveform. During systole, your heart contracts, generates a lot of pressure, and you hit a peak, which is your systolic pressure. And then it will relax back down to the diastolic pressure before the next heartbeat. So you end up with a reading, let's say, of 120/80. Now, as you go along the blood vessel tree, and you end up at the really small capillaries, you don't really have a waveform anymore. You kind of have this sort of constant pressure because a lot of these pressure waveforms have been absorbed by all the muscles in the vascular tree. And you end up, once you get to an organ level, like the brain and the kidneys, they don't really feel this big wave of pressure change. What they feel is a sort of constant push, a constant flow. And this is your mean arterial pressure. And the way you calculate it is it's essentially a third of the way up from your diastolic to your systolic. So what you do is you get the equation mean arterial pressure equals systolic blood pressure plus 2 diastolic blood pressures over 3. And that's how you calculate the mean arterial pressure. Why do we care about mean arterial pressure? Well, you need it to be above 60 millimeters of mercury in order to adequately perfuse the vast majority of your tissues. If you're really young and fit and you naturally run at a low blood pressure and you're asleep, then 50 to 55 is probably okay. But as a general rule, for most people, 60 is the minimum mean arterial pressure, which is going to be enough for your organs. If you are really unwell or you're septic, so the sepsis campaign suggests 65 millimeters of mercury as a minimum. And if you've got cardiovascular disease or severe cerebrovascular disease, you're looking at wanting to maintain 80 to 90 because the vasculature is much stiffer and needs more pressure. So that is why we care about MAP, and this is the equation on how to calculate it.